What's up, everybody? My name is James Bichelle. Generally, we would be saying we are the Hypes Watch. We still are the Hypes Watch. However, today we are streaming off of my channel. Sorry for the inconvenience, but you know what? It's YouTube. So anyway, my guests will introduce themselves, starting with Jerry. Jerry?
Sorry, I had like a little bit of frozen there going on. Yeah, Jerry the Targaryen Steamboat here, just here ready to talk about the Flash, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
There you go, LT.
Yeah, LT Giles here, and just like Jerry, ready to talk about the Flash, what I thought was a good episode.
Yeah, so we'll go through and talk about the episode, and then if you stick to the end, I have what I believe is irrefutable evidence that Julian is Dr. Alchemy and involves comic books. So we will get there at the end. So first off, the episode starts with Wally, and I kind of predicted that this was going to happen. I believe we all believed it was going to happen, and we start seeing Wally having dreams that he's Kid Flash, and we kind of know what's going to happen as a result of this. So yeah, we see him be Kid Flash. He's going around saving kids, and then we see him like kind of stagger out. And I mean, we know the writing is on the wall. So what do you think about this scene, Jerry?
I mean, once I saw it, I'm like, yep, you're right. Mainly, like, I mean, it was kind of obvious, but I think you and Don Will were the first to really bring it to mind that this is going to happen. And as soon as I started seeing it, I was like, yep, that's what's going to happen. We're going to get some controversy about Wally West not having his powers. So, I mean, we saw it coming. That's really all I can say about this. And
Pretty much.
Coming out exactly how we thought it would.
Sir LT Giles.
I don't get what the big idea is about him, and I know Joe and everybody's like, you don't want to get your powers back, but like, what's the big idea about him getting his powers? And then, do they think he's going to use his powers for evil? I mean, why not just get the powers and, I don't get the big idea about it.
Well, Joe kind of explained it. Joe explained why he's a bit worried about him because he's
he did.
more reckless.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility. Then after he has the responsibility to not make a mistake.
That, and it seemed like, also with everyone that's coming back, they kind of ended up being under Alchemy's sway. And I think they're also worried about that. And I think we're going to, as we kind of saw at the end of this episode, that maybe this is going to be an issue with Wally. Because maybe that Philosopher's Stone, can power his mind or something. But we'll get to that at the end.
Could Alchemy turn any regular average Joe into a speedster, or is it because, Wally's other, person on another planet has the power? But could Alchemy just turn anybody into a speedster?
No, they can't do that.
I was going to say, then he could just go get like 10,000 people and turn them into all the speedsters and have them fight as his army.
You gotta be like He-Man and have the power within.
Oh.
Yeah. So, as I put in my notes here, Wally continues to be a baby back bitch because he does. We see him crying, storming out of the room when they're telling him, they're trying to look out for him, but he continues to, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this iteration of Wally West, but, I like Wally West in the comic books. I'm not a fan of this one. But yeah, how do you guys feel about how Wally is like this beginning interaction here where, his people, his dad's looking out for him, but he's like calling, he's crying about it, telling his dad, oh, if I was Barry, you wouldn't care. I mean, what do you guys think about Wally here, LT?
I agree. You say he's a babyback bitch, but I'm also impressed with him that he offers to put himself in the hill. I mean, he could just ran off and seeked out alchemy. And I mean, we'll get to later what happens, but I'm really impressed with Wally in this episode, and I think he did a good job. Basically, he's not giving in to the whole evil like I thought he was.
Is he a little bit whiny? Yes. But I kind of understand where he's coming from, because powers are awesome. Who doesn't want powers? Like, I know LT wants powers. I know I want powers. James, I don't know about you, but powers are cool. And I can understand, like, when you're that close to powers, to, like, and you're just not getting them. And everyone, you want to be that, but they're like, you're not ready kind of thing. Or you're not, you might never get them,
sorry. Remember in Superman 2 when he lost his powers and he got his ass kicked? Come on, he wanted his powers back.
Really what it reminds me is Superboy Prime, who is a villain who was a Superman in another world who denied that powers, but which was a kind of, in my opinion, was a cool villain. But no, when they explain things to Wally, at least he's like, okay. Like, he might not see it right away, but once they, flat out explain it to him, he like spell it out for him. He's like, all right.
Well, I'm mainly just referring to this first scene where he storms out of the house because he thinks his dad doesn't trust him.
Yeah, and I mean, but it's kind of true though. His dad doesn't trust him, so he's mad about. He at least deducted it right, So you give him credit there.
Anyway, I still think it's big back bitch. But moving on. We get our monster of the week. I mean, the shade monster was whatever. It was like the weakest part of the episode, in my opinion. The CGI was bad. It was just there just to fill some time, in my opinion, to get to the end. They needed something to get to the end, and I just felt like that's what this shade is. He came and broke the neck of a businessman. We don't understand why. Like, there was no explanation to why he did it. He just kind of did it. So.
Just wants to fuck up someone's day.
What do you think about this?
Just wants to fuck up someone's day. It's really, typical supervillain. No real depth, It's just they're just throwing shade into people. Just throwing shade. That's really, I don't remember how. You remember shade? They got rid of shade, to be honest. Oh wait, the light. They got
We'll talk about about that later. Yeah.
Yeah, but
LT.
His red shift is is crazy though. That's all I got to say.
What do you think, LT, of the introduction of the monster of the week?
He had to kill some innocent bystander. What an asshole, I never heard of him, and I guess you'll talk about, like you said, you talk about him later. But the girl knew who he was right away. It's like Shade's there at the park, so I guess I'll wait until you just talk about him.
I did like that H.R. Wells seemed to know who Shade was.
Yeah, because he had that's how they knew that it was Shade, because H.R. Wells said that they had a shade in his world. That's how he knew that it was Shade. But what I thought was dumb, they could have at least had like this businessman, like screw over this Shade guy or something. They could at least explain why he just killed this random guy. Like, maybe they were business partners because he was talking about balance sheets and stocks. So I was like, okay, maybe they were like business partners. Screwed over. No, just killed some random guy.
It's obvious though. It's obvious that Shade is related to Marin Trant, and he's just got to be evil.
No, I agree. Like I said, I felt bad for that businessman. Just an innocent bystander. And he chokes him for no reason. No honor. No honor at all.
That guy was Asian and in business. That could be me in like 10 years. my neck snapped up by Shade.
Yeah, he just likes to throw shade at people,
Do you think? Okay, question for you guys. Do you think Shade listens to the radio station on Sirius Satellite Radio, Shade 45?
I don't know.
Maybe he does.
Maybe.
We didn't get to know him enough we didn't even know his name or anything. So yeah. Anyway, moving on from that. Julian reveals he has a girlfriend. I'm not sure if that'll play into anything later. What do you guys think? LT, what do you think? Do you think that's going to mean anything later?
Yeah, it can. I mean, I'm not sure, but it can. We'll see.
What do you
He
think?
said he
Jared?
has a
Same thing?
girlfriend. He said he had a girlfriend. I don't remember seeing her. So,
Right.
do we have a Mateo here thing going on?
Maybe he's getting
That'd be-
catfished.
That'd be so funny if they did that.
Maybe.
All right. So then this was when Wally starts having his first like kind of visceral vision he gets from Alchemy. They're at the police station. He says, "Okay, I'll go back." He talks to his dad. They kind of make up, and he says, I'll go with you back to Star Labs." And then, of course, we see the vision of him actually starting to get stabbed up by the rival, and he's writhing in pain. And they take him back to Star Labs. I'm sorry. And then, back at Star Labs, Caitlin tells Cisco. Okay, well, first, we'll talk about that. So we're starting to see. I mean, I'm assuming. Well, you guys knew from the start, but I'm assuming now you really know that Alchemy is starting to get a hold of Wally, right?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not much to analyze there. That is what it is. We have some scenes back. Go ahead.
Well, when we get to the Caitlyn Paco thing, I do have a question when we get to there.
Okay. So, essentially, we have the gang. We see Caitlyn, Cisco, and H.R. Wells back at Star Labs. Paco, Cisco. Now you got me saying call him Paco. Cisco. He mentions the metahuman dampening cuffs. He believes that HR took them because he think obviously HR is a little bit of a con man, so he assumes he stole them. But as we know, Caitlyn took them, and this is when Caitlyn tells Cisco she took the power dampening cuffs and reveals she is a meta. And then, of course, Caitlyn asks Cisco to vibe her. He sees her as full-on Caitlyn Frost, and they are engaged in fighting. And then he lies to her and says he saw nothing. So, Jerry, what do you think about this turn of events?
Well, first, how the hell does fucking Paco have the ability to see the future? Like, since when does sonic vibrations give you the power to see the future? Is this like a Shadowcat thing in X-Men Days of Future Past, where somehow going through walls gives you the ability to send the mind back in time? What's going on here?
I don't know. It just happened. I don't know. It's what its power was from last season. He touches the person or a thing, and he gets premonitions of the future, and he says it's his vibes. That's how he got the name Vibe on the show. So that was more of his prominent power first before, him throwing the sonic booms or whatever.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I assume there's something that went on in the previous seasons about a Killer Frost. So they had an idea that she might be becoming evil later. I don't know.
Well, okay, season 2 on Earth 2, her Earth 2 counterpart was evil. It was Killer Frost. She was killing people.
Is that the one with the Wells is on?
Yes. It's that Earth 2 was a main plot point from season 2. Okay. And there was her doppelganger on there was evil. She was killing people up. She was an antagonist towards the group. And now she's afraid that's what she's going to turn into. And then we obviously saw Cisco having the premonition that they're going to be fighting. LT, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I didn't know that he could go back into the future. Now I don't. Okay, so this is my opinion in real life and in this show. Okay, if I lie to somebody and it's about something serious, right? If I tell them the same day that lie, it's not so bad. Now, if I go and I lie and I wait months, then it's horrible. But and I had to skip ahead for this, I'm sorry. But he ends up telling the truth, in the same episode and basically, telling the lie. So it's not that bad in my opinion. And before I finish with this question, could Harrison Wells change his face like that? Because that was pretty dope.
No, that was just
he
said
it's from his world, yeah.
Yeah, only this is the one that can do that, and they're only doing it because they want to have a way where it makes sense that he can go out in public, because he is known as a murderer on the world that they're from. Because well, I was just saying, the Harrison Wells, because Barry Allen's dad was in prison for killing his mom, but we all know that it was Eobard Thawne who was Harrison Wells in season 1, and as a gift to the Flash, he made a video where he confessed that he killed his mom.
And wasn't he in a wheelchair in the first season or something like that?
Yes, and then that's
okay.
And that's how
because I watched like one or two episodes.
That's how Barry Allen's dad ended up getting out of prison, and then everyone on that world assumes that if they see him, they know he's the murderer. They know he's a murderer, and he would go to jail. Yeah. So they had to come up with some way where he could change his face. So it is what it is. But yeah, I was thinking.
I just want to say I'm glad Paco Ramon knows how to balance his lies better than Ned Stark.
Well, I was just about to make a Song of Ice and Fire reference here, and I'm wondering if this vibe and his interpretation of the vibe is like Melisandre, interpreting something in her fires and how she can interpret it wrong. Maybe like this is like them training. Maybe it's a training session, but it's not necessarily her being evil. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I never thought of that once. Never thought about that.
Makes perfect sense. And if you remember the original, well, not the original, but the 1990s X-Men cartoon, in the very first episode, when Jubilee gets lost in the danger room, she sees Gambit and Wolverine fighting it out, and she thinks they're all serious, and they're like, "Oh, we're just training. Why'd you blast me?"
Oh, right, go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, LT.
Is there been more Gorilla Grodd references in this show, or is this the first time? Because that's pretty cool. No,
Gorilla Grodd was in the first season and the second season.
Oh, okay. Because I remember him from DC Universe, and you actually fight him, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, he fucked some shit up on the show. But yeah, so I kind of think I personally think it's just a vibe that he's misinterpreting, but we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out with Cisco or with Caitlin. So after that, we have HR come up with the idea to put Wally in the pipeline, and
wait, what is
once
the
again
pipeline?
then they go to the
for one. Let's explain the pipeline.
Oh, the pipeline was their prison for the metas. It suppresses their powers from within. If you put them in there, their powers can't get out of the thing for somehow. I don't know.
So
if there was some science mumbo jumbo, but
they thought Alchemy couldn't get to Wally there, right? That's what they thought.
Or they thought Wally, even if he awakens Wally's powers, it'll be suppressed. I guess.
Yeah, they wanted to. They wanted to keep Wally in there because they should have known. I mean, because remember what happened at the end of episode 1 when the rival was killed in Iron Heights. Well, in Iron Heights, they implemented the pipeline prisons in there, and he was in there. So they should have known that Alchemy could have went in there, or as we know later, maybe this other being is the one that killed him. So yeah, I think it was more just to keep him in. So he wouldn't get out.
I was about to ask, how come we don't see very many metahumans in these pipeline prisons? But I guess I forgot about Ryan.
Because, the pipeline in their building, at some point in season 2, they escaped. They all escaped.
Like Ghostbusters, like they just let everyone out.
Well, it wasn't like that. It was an episode with Snart and. They had to transport them out for some reason. I don't remember exactly what, and then it got all fucked up, and they ended up all escaping. And so one of them actually came back and fought him later.
That building they're in is what we see. What looks like a big ass stadium, right?
Yes, that's Star Labs. That's where
a huge ass building.
That's where the particle accelerator explosion happened, and that's where it all started. That turned everyone into metahumans. Because it was like like the Hadron Collider. That's essentially what it was supposed to be. They were trying to do some shit there, but anyway, yeah. HR comes with the idea to put Wally in the pipeline, and they go to the park. Joe, the DA, who he's trying to woo, along with Caitlin, Cisco, and HR. Cisco tells Caitlin the truth about his vibe. He tells her that, yes, they were fighting, and that, he's definitely scared for her well-being, maybe. And, there was actually a lot of, I thought there was, I don't know, HR is starting to grow on me. I think he's got some pretty good comedic elements in the show. I don't know, he made me laugh a couple times. And then, of course, Shade shows up and terrorizes the park. So, you guys have anything to add to this up to this point?
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous about this relationship between Joe and the DEA. I mean, it's just too much. What do you call it? Intermingling between the police and forensics and the prosecutors. So this is like this could be the night of all over again. So watch out for that.
Maybe. LT?
No, not really much. I'm not really worried. Real quick, I want to tell everybody in the chat and everybody send a shout out to our Hype Watch sister, and she always makes the thumbnails for these videos, and I saw her in the chat. Shout out to you, Ann.
Shout out to the #1 hater in the world, probably.
Anyway, I didn't say that.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, anyway, we see Alchemy. He gets to Wally.
The kitty in the background. Sorry, James.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we see Alchemy gets to Wally. He talks to Wally behind the prison, tells Wally to find him. You start seeing the alchemy scratches into the wall or into the glass. We see Wally start going crazy. And then at the same time, we see the fight between Flash and Shade. It's whatever. Flash getting some punches in, the Shade coming out of nowhere and hitting him. And then, of course, they get the idea to
hack all the cars.
Stop them. Yeah, to hack the cars, stop them by shining all the lights at him. And then Caitlin comes out with the cuffs because she had him the whole time. Threw him at, locked up the Shade. And, of course, like I said, we got no explanation of who the Shade was or what he was doing. It just is what it is. And I thought, like I said, I think the Shade was just there to get to where we needed to go at the end. So yeah, what do you guys think about that whole situation, from Wally going crazy to the fight between Flash and the Shade?
Yeah, Wally going crazy was alright, but the fight was kind of gay. Kind of over too quick. Yeah, the fight was kind of gay, honestly.
I like how Wally handled it like a freaking drug addict, and he's like he's going through withdrawal symptoms, and so that's kind of cool. Although what's her name kicked his ass pretty easily, Iris. I don't know about Wally being a superhero if he's gonna let regular people just kick his ass like that. So.
Well, in Wally's defense, he telegraphed his punch pretty. I saw anybody could have seen that punch coming.
I get he's like freaking John Cena with this punch.
Well, he's not himself. He's all jonesing and shit. So his mind's not clear. He's not fighting clearly. But I mean, that was his sister too. That's what's crazy that he's trying to hurt his sister.
I guess he needs that super speed to be able to land a punch.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I thought it was kind of weak that he got knocked out by Iris. I don't know. That's just me. I thought that was a little weak, but hey, they had to stop him somehow, I guess.
Yeah. So and then the fight, like in my opinion on that, it was just a distraction. That's all it was. We can move on.
Yeah.
James, has there been any background of Iris taking MMA or fighting or anything like that?
No, she's a reporter.
So then, I agree. Because anybody.
She knew like Krav Maga or something like that, or.
Well, I mean, she did do. She wanted to be a police officer, but Joe didn't let her. So she probably did some sort of training to be a police officer. But Joe didn't let her. So
anybody could be knocked out if you hit him in the right place at the right time. But yeah, we're all in agreement that it's lame that she knocked out Wally so easy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we're getting close to the end of this episode, actually.
It was lame that kind of she even opened the cell. Like, this is like a Ned Stark decision here. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was. I did think it was just like if you don't want to look at him suffer, well, then just go upstairs. Like, you don't have to watch him. You know, could just went upstairs and let him be. Anyway, so after that, we see Cisco out. You know, he outs Caitlyn, and she gets all butthurt about it. Obviously, she wanted to, I guess, reveal it around her terms. She's gonna hold it against Cisco, but you know they'll make up. But they do end up making up, and also she talks to Barry. I don't know. There wasn't much here, just other than her revealing, or you know, the reveal happening that she is Caitlyn Snow, and they're gonna work together about it. I don't know if you guys had anything to say about it. There really wasn't much to say, but nothing.
No.
All right then.
Do you think Caitlyn should play young kid?
I was about to say, other than Caitlyn is kind of like being irrational about things. I'm like, come on, you'd be upfront with people, and like, what is she so scared of? Like, is it something about her powers that makes her lose her mind? I never knew Killer Frost to be like, like not being able to control her own mind.
It did seem like when she, like, I don't know, it did seem like she was more prone to being angrier, connected with the powers or not. I mean, that's just what it seems like. Like, you know, when she slammed her hands on the table or whatever, and it started turning into ice. I don't know, maybe it's having an effect on her brain chemistry or something. I don't know, we don't know. But when she used her powers, or that she is more irritable now. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But obviously, it's going to be a plot point throughout the season, and we just got to wait and see how it all manifests. I'm still of the belief that they're just kind of, she's going to have this struggle that she's going to become Caitlyn Frost. But I think that was maybe training that Cisco saw in his vibe.
So here's a question: is there something like going on between Caitlyn and Paco? Like, they seem a bit closer than normal.
Yeah. I mean, it's always kind of been a speculative thing. I mean, she was married in the first season, but her fiance, well, she was married, but she was engaged. But her fiance died at the end of season 1, and you know, she's been free ever since. And it does always seem like they have a little something going on. You know, maybe that'll cash in someday. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But it does seem like there's something there. But yeah, so we're going to get to the meat here towards the end. So the first thing you notice, of course, is that they're going to go down, use Wally as bait, and they got the SWAT team. You're going to go with Barry, Joe, and the SWAT team. They're going to go and, you know, set this trap and get Alchemy. And it's interesting that Julian didn't come into work that day, and no one can reach him. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Wally, Joe, and Barry and the SWAT team go and confront Dr. Alchemy. A pretty cool fight ensues. You know, we see Dr. Alchemy using the Philosopher's Stone, blasting the Flash, being able to control the Flash with his blasts, knock him down to the ground. Then, of course, we see the SWAT team come in. You know, they're starting to shoot at Alchemy and stuff, and the Flash comes in, and you know, then he gets up and he starts up and all the followers there. And then after it seems like they have subdued Alchemy, we see a flash going around the room, and we see some shaking, and then we see what is happening. We see we see Wally, we see the stone talking to him. He goes and grabs it, and then, I don't know, he turns into this fucking pillar thing. And then we see Barry get hit by the Flash that he saw. And of course, it is revealed that it is Savitar, the god of speed. And he has the Flash, the roof, which is interesting. I mean, Savitar has been a super villain of Flash's before in the comic books. Except he's more of just a person who I don't remember him calling himself the god of speed, but yeah, so it's interesting. Now we know that there's two. We know that Alchemy is working with Savitar, and I believe that it was actually Savitar who came in and killed the rival in the first episode. So, what do you guys think of the thing that happened at the end? We'll start with LT.
like I said, I wanted to commend Wally because he could have just went off on it by himself and sucked out seeked out the alchemist by himself and just got his powers back. But no, he teamed up with everybody and used himself as bait to try and take him down. I'm worried about what happened to him. What we'll find out. The god of speed kind of looks like Megatron with blue eyes. Did anybody notice that? To me, that's what he looked like.
I was confused by that whole thing. I'm like, because Saboteur is just a person.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I'm just saying he looked like Megatron. And I want to know, what is this blue gun that Joe has? Is that some kind of special device, or it looked like a shotgun, but it was blue, like it's some kind of force gun or something? Or?
Yeah, it was something that Cisco made a season back or something. It helps with fighting metas.
I was worried though, man. I thought that Joe was gonna die, or because I never watched Targaryen in the chat. I never watched this episode when it first comes out, but I saw screenshots and it showed a picture of Barry and it looked like he was crying. So I thought somebody died. And then my cousin, who's a big ass Flash fan, I said, "Did something happen dramatic on the Flash?" And he was like, "Yeah," but I didn't want to get spoiled. But pretty good episode overall. Jerry's turn.
Sure.
I mean, it was kind of cool, but I was kind of like confused when the Saboteur. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is fucking? I don't even know what he looked like a cross between like Megatron and Pumpkinhead, and I didn't know what was going on here. So,
well, I mean, the only thing I can think, just real quick, I don't want to interrupt, but like, I don't know, it had something to do with, I mean, like Zoom in last season, when he put his mask on, he looked kind of supernatural too. So maybe it's something, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for sure what it is before we can completely judge. And maybe it's just like a person and somehow there's like this illusion that he's something else.
So, another thing about the whole Julian not showing up, I wasn't that worried because, we've seen alchemy taking out people before, and Julian never missed work then. So I'm thinking, maybe, I don't know if they're quite related. They might be, and they just weren't paying attention before, but we'll see.
Well, all right. So I did some research. This is kind of a spoiler-free thing. If you don't want to know something from the comic books, you've been warned. But so I did some research on Dr. Alchemy. I did some research on Dr. Alchemy because I never remembered him from the comic books, and it's from the 50s. So it's been yes, he was in episodes of The Flash in the 50s, or in the comic books in the 50s. So I looked him up, and what Dr. Alchemy is, his name is Albert Desmond, and he is a chemist who suffers from multiple personality disorder, one who is a strict law-abiding citizen. Does that sound familiar? A chemist who's a strict law-abiding citizen. The second part of him is the criminally inclined one. Also, I'd like to point out, he gets the Philosopher's Stone. He's wants to create this I guess he creates a thing called Mr. Element that wreaks havoc, and then eventually he loses all of his good side and he becomes just Dr. Alchemy in the end. So, it's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where he's a law-abiding citizen that uses his scientific mind to wreak havoc, in the world. Now, like I said, his name is Albert Desmond. I looked up what Julian's last name is. His name is Julian Albert. If these aren't fucking clues, I don't know what is. So, you guys want to rebut to that?
Not really. I think it's pretty obvious at that point that Julian is Dr. Alchemy, or at least related to him in some way.
I was on the team that he wasn't, but yeah, him not being at work and not, I think I'm starting to believe. James, you're starting to make me a believer.
I think it's. I mean, I kind of didn't want it to be the case because I think it's too obvious. But I mean, I think it's the case. I mean, after I read that, I was like, I don't know how it can be anything else. So, we'll have to see how it all turns out, and hopefully thematically it turns out good. Like I said, he's a pretty big actor, and I assumed he was going to have a big role in this season, other than just being like the background CSI guy. So he's definitely going to be something big, and I think that's the case. And I think him and Savitar are working together somehow, and they're going to, I don't know what their end game is, but we're gonna find out. It's pretty early in the season. So, you guys have any last thoughts?
I just got a question. What do you guys think happened to Wally with getting turned to this pillar?
I don't know what the hell that was all about. I don't know what the hell that. Like, I think maybe it's like a cocoon or something, and he's gonna pop out when he's ready or something. I don't know.
I thought for a minute he was like, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought that when he grabbed it and he was changing, I thought he was just gonna morph into his suit or something. I don't know why I thought that.
So yeah, I guess
I hope Superman comes and gets that Philosopher's Stone and destroys it.
Well, they could do it because they have their own Superman on Supergirl. I never watched that show, but
you know what that means, though. Anyone who's read knows what happens if Superman destroys the Philosopher's Stone. And Darkseid's taking over. That's what it means.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do all that on the Flash.
They should.
They should, but I don't think they're going to go there. I mean, they just don't have the budget for the TV shows to do something like that. And they're obviously doing Darkseid. They're going to be doing Darkseid in the DCU. Whether they'll do that right, we'll see.
But, I mean, don't they do everything, like their own counters of everything?
What's that?
Don't they, like, have their own, like, TV counters for all of everything, like, just because it's a villain?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. They could. So yeah, like I said,
Darkseid.
I'm pretty sure that Julian is alchemy, and I don't have much else to say. What did you think of the episode, Jerry? Give it a rating.
I'm gonna give it. I thought it was good. I'll give it about a 6.5. It's entertaining. It was better than the previous few episodes. So the shade was a little bit shady, but other than that, it's good.
What do you think, LT?
I'll agree with Jerry. I'll give it a 6.5. I enjoyed it, and Shade was a little bit shady, and Savitar looked a little bit like Megatron, but it still was good. I still liked it, so yeah, I agree, 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give it the same rating because like the whole stuff at the end was good. The stuff I thought HR was funny. The problem, like I said, was I think Shade was just a complete waste, and I think, like I said, I just think they needed something to fill the 45 minutes in between the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes. Well, however it works out. I guess it's a 44-minute show, so the 30 minutes to fill it. And I really do think that the rest of this season hinges on how they're going to handle alchemy. I really hope they don't make it, so obvious that, they make it kind of obvious, I think, that Julian is alchemy, but hopefully they don't make it as obvious. And I hope they continue shaping his character so that you actually care. Like, I hope they make it sort of like it's tragic, that he can't help that he's alchemy, and that, they make you feel for him. So hopefully they go that route. Maybe make him less of a dick, maybe make him more sympathetic, so we can see, so we feel more emotionally towards it.
Why didn't they take his mask off when they had all the guns around him? Why didn't they take that mask off?
Yeah, I guess, and I don't see what happened to him. I guess maybe he just boogied out of there.
Obi-Wan, right? He disappeared like Obi-Wan did.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to him, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, there's 24 episodes in a season, I believe, so we still got a while to go, and I'm just glad that we finally maybe starting to see, hopefully we're starting to see an arc to the season as opposed to just monsters of the week. But yeah, aside from that, we'll do call-offs here. LT?
Yeah, you know me, Sir LT Giles, the ladies' man. I just came, I did a video yesterday, little short, like 30-second video of this like pigeon that was fearless, and you can check that out on my channel. It's funny because David Adams said in the comments that he's gonna call me Birdman because I keep on putting videos of like cool birds I see and stuff. But no, it's always fun to be on. We would be on the Hype Watch channel, but there's drama with our channel. But we're on Jimmy B's channel, and Jimmy B's got an awesome channel. But no, thanks for watching, everybody, and take it away, Jerry.
Yeah, well, we probably, well, I don't know. Hopefully we'll do this again next week. And, like I said, enjoyed the episode. Be on the watch. We're trying to schedule out our December reread, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. But yeah, just keep watching The Flash, and we'll keep doing the streams. James?
Yeah, and I want to thank, I'm going to give a shout out here to the active users in the chat. And that was AU Pack Mule, Biotic Flux, and Renee M. I'm glad you guys stuck it out and
Love
watched our
was in
review.
there too.
Yeah, Lab was in there too. But I know Renee really likes The Flash, so I'm glad
Cool.
that she's in here watching us. And yeah, thanks Pack Mule and Biotic Flux. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Be on the lookout on the Hype Watch channel. Like I said, we only did it on this one because we got issues right now. But we'll come back strong and be better than ever. But yeah, so if you liked the video, hit the like button, share it on social media, and subscribe. And until next time, adios.
Later, guys.
Peace out.
Dark side. Anti-life.